Yo! What is up? I feel like I just saw you guys like an hour ago. All right, so are we having a good time or what? All right, we got something really cool for you tonight. Those of you who listens to podcasts, all right, who listens to other podcasts except just mine? All right, we have one of the best podcasts in the world, and no, it's not ours, tonight for you guys live. So you get 2 live shows in one day. All right, you guys might have heard of this this little bitty podcast called Bussin With The Boys. All right, we got Will and Taylor here live to bring their amazing show to you guys. I want you guys to make some noise for these dudes. Let's hear it.
How we doing?
Hey, have a little juice for Andy. Give a little round of applause for the man himself, built like a damn bull. He looks phenomenal.
It's starting to rain, but bring on the fucking elements, dude. Hey, it's easy for us to say we are covered.
Before we get started, we have to say thank you to one brand, that is True Classic. Thank you so much, True Classic, for absolutely everything you've done for us. For those of you who do not know who we are, my name is Taylor Lewan. I hail from the great state of Arizona. Went to the University of Michigan, 2024 national champs. For everybody out there, this is my boy knows what I'm talking about right there. Hell yeah, go Blue Runner! Hell fucking yeah!
And I'm Will Compton, and I went to the University of Nebraska! Yes! Go Big Red!
Now, there's a lot of things we can get into tonight. We were going to talk to you about our origin story a little bit. If you got a phone, have a phone, need a phone, get a phone, and go and pull up the little YouTube app. Go and subscribe to Bussin With The Boys. Do that after at a later date. We don't have to do that right now. We're going to have a little fun with you guys.
Hey, Taylor, we do got some True Classic shirts that I believe we can toss out. I'm going to be throwing them. Watch your heads. I'm just going to be throwing everything out.
Beautiful stuff.
All right, shout out True Classic.
Shout out True Classic.
Shout out True Classic.
Right
Where
here.
should we sit, bro? Gonna start right here first?
All right. I'll go here and then I'll move over there.
Okay. Sit down, man.
So, like we were saying before, Bussin' With The Boys, we started this thank you, sir. We started this podcast back in 2018. So, Will Compton, he was playing for the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Free agency hits, he signs himself a contract to the wonderful Tennessee Titans where I was already playing. There's an article or there's a tweet that comes out that says, Will Compton and Taylor Lewan are going to become best friends.
Taylor loves fast. He loves hard. He loves urgently.
Urgently. So I feel like my marriage is essentially being arranged. Like I cannot wait to be my new best friend. I walk into the cafeteria one morning, him and another individual are sitting there having some giggles, and I'm like, buddy, I see some laughs going on here. Let me introduce myself. I want to have some laughs too. Let's get that going back and forth with each other. For me, love at first sight. For Will Compton, took a couple of days, right? It took a couple of urgent, easy. How did you feel?
I have commitment issues.
You guys commitment issues.
Yeah. New place, might only be here a year. Don't want to fall in love with somebody. I got to keep my distance.
Absolutely. I, on the other hand, felt some type of way. I needed this man in my life immediately. He had messed up teeth, so you know I loved him for real. Now he's got nice, beautiful teeth and just paid for
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get him to come to my wedding. I forced him to the whole thing. We end up playing the 2018 football season. Or, yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018 football season.
We go to play the Colts at the end of the season. It's a win and get in game. If we win, we're in the playoffs. If we lose, we're out, and the Colts are in the playoffs. We get absolutely donkey stomped. We get absolutely murdered. The Colts put on an absolute show against us. It was close at first, run away. For any of you who watched the show, there's an infamous story about a man named Blaine Gabbert who went to the University of Missouri. Mizzou, all right, you guys are going to hate this story.
He's a St. Louis boy.
So Blaine, every time he would come in, he would hold the huddle. He had a beautiful blonde hair, green eyes, like one of those handsome quarterbacks, right? And he'd get in the huddle. He'd say, all right, 2-jet, chip, X, blah, 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 blah. Go over the whole thing. And then we'd be pausing. Yo, boys, you hold them up. Daddy's going to spin it. And every single time he would tell that story, he would throw a pick within the next 3 plays. So it never really went the way we wanted. Blaine did start for that game. It wasn't infamous. Boys, sit back and watch Daddy spin it. And after that game took place, Will and I get a little banged up.
Yes, get a little banged up, and we lose or win an game. Our season is over, and I had been sitting on this idea to start a podcast. When I was going into that year with Tennessee, I was on a 1-year deal. I was a backup and a special teamer. I was there to compete for a starting job in the first round. Tennessee Titans trade up and draft Rashawn Evans, who's a linebacker. He doesn't get hurt. When you're somebody in my position, you kind of need opportunity to take Phorm. That never happened that year. So I'm thinking this could be my last year playing, so I'm thinking about what the next life is going to be for myself. I was jotting down the idea of doing a podcast. A couple of the boys, Taylor, Derek Morgan, a few of my guys in the locker room was like, oh, yeah, I think that would be sick. I asked Taylor to do it. He was a little iffy at first, but after that game, when we got banged up and we were, on some vitamins, we were at a Chinese spot called Best Walk off of Charlotte and Nashville. And he's like, hey, I'll do the podcast with you. And that was like a massive lift off my shoulders because you're doing a podcast with your best friend. And I'm like, are you serious?
He said best friend too. You guys heard that?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You see the fact
That's
that
my
I've
boy.
won him over. I've won that battle.
We shake hands, and I'm kind of starting a vision board, based on podcasts that are out there, MFCEO being one of them by Andy Frisella, to what you want it to look like. You're trying to capture advice, and we'll get into that stuff when Andy comes up here because he was very pivotal when Bussin With The Boys was starting for us. And Taylor left. That next week, he calls me. He says, hey, I'm going to fly to California to train for the next 4 months. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? And I'm like, I kind of need, if we're going to start this podcast, we need to do it now when you're fresh, when you are playing. Because when you're playing in the NFL, I always say, like, you're better looking, your jokes are funnier, and you can shake more hands. Versus when you're retired and you're trying to do something, it looks a little bit more desperate. And Taylor, I was like, you swear to God you'll do this podcast? He's like, I swear. Whenever I get back in April, we can hit the ground running. He comes back in April. We find a bus in the back of a parking lot sitting in the gravel. Doesn't run, doesn't do nothing. We would steal power from a generator, and we'd plug in the generator and steal the power from an RV charging. What was that? A little RV camp?
Yeah, it was a little RV camp. We would take an extension cord and we would steal their power. And
Yeah.
use a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah, we'd unplug an RV and plug it into the generator. We'd operate off of a hotspot right off of our iPhone. We paid for all the equipment. We wanted to own all of our IP. And we just started backlogging episodes.
Yeah.
And that is where Bussin' With The Boys essentially started in the heat of that entire summer of 2019.
Yep.
And we backlogged a lot of episodes. We went into the season. We had a lot of fresh stuff. And Mike Vrabel comes on the show and says that he would cut his dick off for a Super Bowl. And that is kind of where the explosion, that went viral. We joined Barstool. We have all these athletes on, comedians, entertainers, anybody from any walk of life we will have on the show. And all we try and do is bring the locker room to life through content, entertainment, whatever you guys see. Usually we're wearing helmets because when you're done playing, the one thing everybody misses the most, they all say it, whether you retire after high school, college, whatever, they miss the locker room. And so when you look back at it, we're basically answering our own question when starting Bussin' With The Boys, is how do we keep the locker room alive? How do we keep bringing juice, having fun, being ourselves, being authentic? And our avenue and platform was Bussin' With The Boys.
And it's also allowing other players too. Like a lot of times, just guys playing football. There's all other sports out there, but when football players would come in, you're so polished. You go into the NFL, everyone's going to tell you how to talk. This is how you address the media. Don't say things to hurt the team. So we took a similar approach with that. If we're going to have guys like Derrick Henry on and these big Jalen Ramsey, these bigger name guys, we want people to come and be in a place where they're like, hey, I can be myself. I can speak freely, and I know these guys are going to have my.
You can
back at the
talk
end
some
of the day.
shit.
Yeah, we've had some guys say some offside shit, like things that are like, that's funny, and that would definitely go viral and make our business a whole lot better. But for the sake of your brand and everything, we're gonna cut that out. And so being able to establish that with people has allowed us to have access to a lot of people, along with when we were at Barstool.
Yep.
Like we were a part of that pirate ship for a long time, and it was absolutely incredible to be with them. They were awesome in a lot of ways, and when we got to this new contract world of what are we gonna do next, our agents start reaching out to people. They find a company that wants to be presenting sponsor of us, and we start to realize that Barstool, how great they are, they also have a lot of things. If you guys are familiar with Barstool, you're familiar with a guy named Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy, Roger Goodell, who is the commissioner of the NFL, don't have the best rapport.
Yeah.
They do not have the best rapport.
Yeah, not the best rapport. always hard for us to get into stuff when it comes to the NFL.
When we were working through this entire process, like we're team guys. We always want to be a part of the team that we're a part of until the free agency situation hits. And it was a perfect storm for us. Brand after brand that wanted to be with us aligned and inevitably led us to this situation right here. Being able to sit in St. Louis, sitting on the grounds of a company that's been alive for over 150 years, who have started an energy drink that's going to take over the absolute world, and be able to sit on a stage in front of you and interview a couple of these people, some of the best entrepreneurs of our entire life. This is a dream come true for us.
100%, man.
Absolutely loved it. I think it's time to bring out our first guest.
Yeah, as much as I feel like people might want to be here for us, they might want to see us interact with these guests.
Like, I'm sure we've drugged this out long enough, right?
Yeah.
There's one or two. Okay, that's a little loud. We could be a little nicer, but yes, we did drug it out a little loud. We'll bring out our first guest.
Our first guest is an American entrepreneur, an author, a public speaker, best known as the founder and owner of Phorm. From 2015 to 2019, he hosted the MFCEO Project, the #1 business and success podcast in the world. He is also known as a creator of the widely recognized mental toughness program, 75 Hard, and the host of the Real AF podcast and certified badass. Give it up for Andy Frisella! Yes, man.
All right.
What a tank, dude.
Right here?
The lads
You like
up
that
this
intro?
guy.
That was, I feel like I just graduated from WWE.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that was my Hall of Fame intro, bro. I was never going to get better than that.
Dude, you got that means you got to bring me on the road with you when you're doing these speaking gigs, and I'll bring the juice for you.
Bro, I don't know if I can afford you now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we are in bed together now. Phorm Energy, shout out Phorm Energy.
That's right.
But it's, dude, we were dapping up and hugging for the longest time when we saw each other earlier today, because we haven't seen each other since I actually came on the MFCEO back in 2015.
Yeah.
We were talking about leadership, communication. You were kind of challenged me to go after the starting job with the Washington Redskins at the time, and you meet a lot of people,
Yeah.
and you're probably like, not that you don't care about it, but you're like, oh, this is a good dude.
Yeah.
We'd love to see how it all unfolds and what he does. And just to be now sitting on stage with you, and you guys sponsoring Phorm Energy, sponsoring Bussin With The Boys, and having this full circle moment to now we're back
Bro.
with each other is fucking electric.
It's, first of all, dude, I'm not trying to be all overly emotional, but dude, I'm fucking proud of you, dude. Like, it has been super, super cool for me to watch you come up with the idea for the show, to watch you guys go out and build the show and become what it is, which is it's one of the top shows in the world, dude. I mean, it's just been super cool, bro. And
Dude.
it's really fucking cool, because a lot of you guys don't know, like you said, when I started MFCEO, we didn't know what we were doing, bro. We were just like, Will, you want to come on the show? Like we had no idea. And, just to see it come full circle, dude, to where we can now like sit here and talk and then also be involved with the business of it. It's fucking cool, man.
Dude, so Andy, rewinded back to 2018 when the podcast was kind of ideating. December 1st, I was scrolling the DMs because he hit me up the other day, excited to see you this week, bro. And I scrolled up a little bit, and I remember hitting up Andy and Sal about like, hey, thinking about starting a podcast, need advice, not really sure where to start. Do you have any advice on equipment, whatever it is? And he's like, bro, I got you 100%, let's get on the phone. Sal was the same way. We get on the phone, Sal sends me a list, every link of a piece of equipment that we need to start a podcast. I'm asking Andy, hey, how much should we pay producers? He's giving me a ballpark. You probably don't need this. You could probably get really good people at this mark. And just giving me a bunch of advice, and that is back in 2018.
Yeah.
And the same advice, too, which is funny, is Sal was like, we always use MFCEO and Real AF as like a microphone. You don't really take on sponsors. You don't really take on ads.
Yeah.
And he's like, maybe you look at doing the same approach. We obviously didn't go that route to where we do have sponsors. And now it's funny because Phorm Energy is a sponsor of Bussin With The Boys.
It's funny because I was trying to get Phorm Energy to sponsor my show too. But so maybe you can put in a good word for me.
We know Dana White. We know Dana White. We know AB now.
Yeah, we know a couple people now. Dude, it's when Will's reading off the list of your bio and all the things you've accomplished, obviously Phorm is a massive part of that. How did that whole brand come together for you? What made you be like, I want to start this supplement company, this wellness, this lifestyle company, and then build it to the success it is today. Because we were at the first Phorm facility today,
Oh
and I
my
don't know if you
God.
guys have ever been there. Truly breathtaking, incredible. Like we've been to, 25, 30 different D1 college facilities, and it's on par with all of them. It is absolutely incredible.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, dude. We started back in '99 in retail business. We own this company, Supplement Superstores. We still own them. They're all through the Midwest. And then it was grinding it out, dude. The first day we sold $7. The second day we sold nothing. The third day we sold $23. And it took us 5.5 years to open our second location. My first 10 years in business, I made $58,000, $58,380 combined. So I could have made more working at McDonald's. And at first, it was all about we wanted to be entrepreneurs. Just like what the young kids want. They want the money. They want to win. They want to have that life. And it never worked out for us. We always struggled. And then something happened about 10 years in where we were going to close the business. And Chris and I had, at the time, it was just me and Chris. We had a conversation about, okay, well, maybe we don't want to close the business, but what do we like about the business? And the one thing that we both liked was there would be times where people would come in and they would leave and they would be down, 50, 60, 70 pounds, and they would come back in and the genuine emotion that those people would give was awesome. And that was like our favorite thing about the business. And so we're like, okay, well, maybe we're not going to be rich and famous, but maybe we'll just be able to do that. And so we pivoted into trying to make that happen as much as possible. And when that happened, the business took off. And that was right when we started First Phorm. It was 2009. Sal came in. He was working at Ethicon. And we just grinded it out, dude. And it's based on a very simple ideal, which is help people do what they're trying to do the best that you can, and they'll help you back. And, that's why we have all these fine people here today. So.
Dude, you have such a loyal audience. Like, I remember the early days of First Phorm and your guys' graphics and just the aesthetic and everything. When you guys are rebranding and you're kind of building off that why on helping people, what was the origin story? Why First Phorm?
Oh, well, you mean like why do we pick that name?
Yeah, like why? Yeah, why you pick First Phorm and what was the goal when creating?
Well, I mean, if you're in any kind of CPG business, the hardest thing is picking a name.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I saw, dude. So, the Leonardo da Vinci sketch for Virtue in Man, where he's like,
Yeah.
naked and shit,
Yeah.
Leonardo's
yeah.
being mean about his
Yeah. He's got his little hot dog hanging out,
Yeah, little meat.
I was like, okay, we're going to make a company that represents like the first human form, okay? And then we just spelt form with a PH, which was like a huge mistake because for the first 10 years, 15 years, 10 years, we've had to fucking spell it out every time. Everybody wants to write Phorm, F-O-R-M.
Yeah.
And we're always like, oh, what the fuck, man? It's a PH. And then we're like, oh, it's us. We're the dumbasses.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of that, we just did it. There wasn't much thought behind it. It was like, okay, we need a name, and that's how it came about.
Then let's just run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one more thing. By the way, shout out to all of you. Give yourself a round of applause real quick. I hear the rains.
Yeah.
A little bit more. You guys are fucking rock stars for being out there, being able to sit like that. You talked about what you loved about the business, taking somebody to lose 50, 60, 70 pounds, essentially being like, oh, this brand isn't just pills and powders and hey, we do the work, like whatever slogans. It's truly a lifestyle brand. And when you go in to the First Phorm facility, you're doing the national anthem at 10 a.m. You have flags all over the place representing the square footage of your first building. You have a team meeting room in which you guys do exercises on not only how to sell stuff, but mostly how to, as a character, build yourself up to become a better person on and off the field, essentially, for your guys' program. How do you go and implement those types of things into your business and not only change people's lives from hey, you're going to make more money this way, but you're also going to be a better father, a better husband, a better, all those things? a better entrepreneur.
You know, I actually think it's reverse. I think if you teach people and help people understand how to be better people, they're automatically better at selling. So what we do is a little bit backwards. We will, if you would sit in a meeting, like we should broadcast our meetings because it's never like sell shit. It's like, hey man, we have a duty to help these people get results. A lot of what we talk about is our intent. Is our intent truly focused on helping this person in front of us? Or is our intent focused on getting through the conversation or thinking about what we can get from it? And once you get people to see the right intent and you realize that, you know, these skill sets, discipline, mindset, perseverance, grit, fortitude, taking accountability, you know, all of these things make you better as a person, it makes them better at their job. So most of what we talk about is character and personal development in the company. And once somebody buys into that, their ability to help people creates the sale automatically. So it's kind of opposite. Like if most people would sit in our meeting and be like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
But I think we're talking about the shit that really matters.
Just sitting there watching YouTube videos of David Goggins.
Yeah.
This is the shit we got.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Buy in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Scaling it to like, I think, how many employees do you guys have?
I think we're in the mid 400s right now.
Your guys' facility is insane. When they're telling us there's no cleaning services that
Yeah.
you guys bring in, how spotless it is, the attention to detail, how hard was it to kind of go beyond yourselves or your small circles and build it into where now you have 400 employees and they all operate off of the core values and the standard that you guys started with?
Well, I think these guys all understand it too, even though they're not employees. Like, you know, I think a lot of people, when they run business, they run it by force. You know, do this or this. And the reality is that, you know, let's say, for example, a lot of people comment on the weights being all straight or the bathrooms being clean. Like that is not something that you necessarily force people to do. It's you help them understand how that helps them. So, you know, with discipline, as you guys know, you know, you're either making investments or withdrawals. And if I walk past that sink that has these drops in it or that piece of trash on the ground, you know, our team they understand that like you're taking a withdrawal by not doing anything about that. It means your discipline's getting weaker. And, you know, I think that's why our culture is so strong, because I guarantee you all these people that are here live that way too. They understand that when they do something, not only is it good for them, but it's good for themselves. And I think once people understand that, which our leadership is very strong, from Sal all the way down through the executives, they all understand that. So we all, you know, everybody just kind of follows. So
When you look at establishing a new brand like Phorm Energy, what was the process like aligning with brands like Budweiser, like Dana White, and realize, I mean, you get with those two brands, including yourself, it's like we know this is going to be a rock star situation. Like other energy drinks will probably cease to exist in the next 5 years.
that's
Murk them all up.
Yeah.
In a big hurry. I mean, you guys are all killers, absolute whales. What was for you your process of like aligning these other brands with you?
real talk. I didn't have hardly anything to do with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's easy. Hey, just
Take
a nap, wake up, make $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, look,
hey, folks,
the-
congratulations.
We were very fortunate, okay? Sal had been working very hard for the previous few years. You know, we had an energy drink before this, and there's really no way to be successful with an energy product unless you have a distribution partner. So Sal took over as CEO in 2022, and the main thing that he worked on for the last 2.5 years was getting the company in a place to where we would attract the right partner. And, you know, the right partner came, and Brendan reached out, and Sal, they connected at a baseball game, and Dana and I had connected randomly through some friends, and a conversation or two happened, and then it was just, all right, let's go, and then we went. And, you know, I can't really take any kind of credit for it because I'm kind of along for the ride and just paddling my part of the boat, you know what I mean? But we were in the, you know, Sal did a great job putting us in the right place at the right time, and when the need arose for you know, AB, we had a good conversation. There's a lot of synergy. Brendan's a killer, Dana's a killer, and
Yeah.
Sal's a killer, and I'm all right,
Yeah.
and I feel like it kind of the right things come together, man. And
100%.
just like us sitting here, or you guys doing your show, or me do the shit. Just I don't know why it happens, but it does come together, and I think it has to do with like just the intent and how and like minds align with like minds, and I feel, and I know our team feels very fortunate to have the AB team as partners, and hopefully they feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're gonna figure out a way to fucking stomp some faces.
I think so too. Before we get
Before we bring our next guest, you brought up something when you were saying, hey, this person's a killer, that person's a killer, this person, I'm all right. And we all, people scoff and laugh because everyone knows how successful you are and how much of a killer you really are. Do you ever look back and just like maybe look in the mirror and be like, look at all this I've been able to accomplish in this time? Like when you're talking about 10-year period making $58,000, and now you're sitting in a position you are now, wearing some beautiful Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake boots, driving a nice vehicle, got a T-shirt on, looks great, some flawless looking tattoos. Like you have done something that is truly the American dream, which is establish something for yourself by yourself that helps a lot of people around the world. And so, do you ever get a chance to sit back and be like, bro, this is fucking cool? Like,
I mean, dude, every day it's cool. Like every day it's cool. Like I wake up. I get to fucking go to work with like literally the best people in the world that give a fuck about everybody around them. They all work hard. They all do the right thing. They all help the community. They inspire me by the standards that they hold. I get to walk in this beautiful building, but I get to be around all of you guys and hundreds of thousands of people just like these guys, dude. Like our team rolls real fucking deep. And I don't know, man. I just don't I've never looked at it like, oh, I did this. I always look at it as like, I'm a part of the team and I just got to play my part and do my part. Because, dude, the reality is that's the way a fucking team works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have been on many teams, successful and losing teams, and you probably agree that the winning teams, everybody knows their role, and on the losing teams, you got guys that think they're more important than the other guys. And I just don't see myself that way. And I think that's congruent with our leadership from top down. I mean, you'll see our executives taking out the trash, or no job in our organization is below anybody. And I think that I don't know, man. I love it, and I think it's cool, but I'm just happy to be here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's and then the other thing is I feel behind. I don't feel like we're there. I feel like that 10 years of doing nothing, that fucks with you mentally, because then you're like permanently behind.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do think it's awesome, but I don't ever stop and think like I did this. Like I honestly, dude, I look around and I'm like, fuck, I got some smart motherfuckers around me.
Right.
And that's how I feel, so.
You guys haven't even come close to scratching the surface yet at all with Phorm Energy. But before we get too deep into Phorm Energy, we're going to bring another person out. You guys might have heard of the UFC, but let's bring out Dana White.
Dana White, the greatest gambler to ever exist. On and off the felt. It's constant.
We could talk about the origin of Dana and Bussin.
Yeah, I'm down to go to that.
We met Dana out at the Super Bowl. We had a guest booker. Shout out Peggy. Dana was kind of in and out. She's like, hey, you guys could have 45 minutes with Dana, but it's got to be in and out. Power Slap was just coming out. Dana comes over to our Airbnb. We're chopping it up. We have Max Crosby on FaceTime. You, Taylor, you guys are talking about keto. And we sit down and have an awesome podcast. And we're chopping it up. And Dana's like, hey, would you guys want to come out to the first Power Slap event? And it's honestly, it felt like he's been that way ever since.
It really did. Because, like you said, Peggy said, hey, if Dana's going to come, he's going to do a podcast. You have a tight 45 minutes. Like the minute he walks in the door, you have 45 minutes. He's busy. He's got to get in and get off.
Yeah.
We spent about an hour.
Yeah.
Talking about Harleys, talking about your health journey and where it's gone in so many ways. And really, you were there to promote Power Slap, which was so new at the time. So we spent an hour doing that. Then we spent another 45 to an hour doing the podcast. And when you reached out to us about coming March 11th, it was like we've been friends forever. And that's for anybody who's never personally met Dana White. You know, you hate to get a compliment in front of people, I bet, but this guy, when he walks into a room, the people he knows the best, the most, he's going to say hi to them last. He's going to make sure he shakes everybody's hands, looks them in the eyes, because that's how he treats everybody every time I've been around. It makes you feel like you're a part of the community already. Not knowing it would turn into us all four sitting on a stage right now.
And not just, it's the same way with you guys at First Phorm. So you walk in the doors, the hospitality that your people have. Like when we came out there for Power Slap and we got to see a UFC event. I think it was a fight night at that time. Then you invite us out to International Fight Week, and I remember Taylor and I are sitting in there, and there's been a couple things I've ever had on my bucket list because I'm not really sure what to put on a bucket list. But it's go to Norway and see orca whales, and I would love to see a UFC fight in person in Vegas. And when we went out to International Fight Week and we're sitting there and you got us in the second row, bro, we're looking around and I'm just tapping Taylor. I'm like, this is the most insane shit of all time. And legitimately, man, gratitude, all of it. You have been first class. You've always treated us well, not just me and Taylor, because I know we have a podcast. I know we have a brand where we all want to help each other out, but even our guys behind the camera, everybody at Red Rock, just everybody that you've been around has made us feel like they are you anytime we've stepped into a room. And sincerely, bro, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, well, the truth is, I turned him into a degenerate gambler.
There should be a documentary of their run on the blackjack table.
This is a true story, and this is unheard of. If you gamble, if there's casinos here, so I'm sure plenty of you gamble, he's never lost, ever. Ever. Seriously, what's the number now?
It's like $2.4 million.
$2.4 million he's won since
How
he started
uncomfortable was
gambling.
that?
He's never, ever lost, meaning he's never paid the casino money, ever. He just takes money every time. It's fascinating.
Yeah, before I met Dana, I think the most I ever bet was like $1,000, and I was like shitting my pants while I was doing it. But when we went out for Power Slap the first time, March 11th, I would do the same thing. This is like my way of getting the casino. Is I would get like a big credit line, and I would get a nice little hotel room, and they'd hook me up or whatever, and then I'd go play like $300-400 a hand or whatever, and I'd dip on them like, oh, I got their ass. So obviously we meet Dana. I start diving into this guy quite a bit, and I'm seeing these clips on YouTube. Like, this man is always gambling. He's doing this. He's beat the Bellagio. He's beat these people. So when I see him, I kind of come up to him and I go, hey, I know you're kind of a gambler. I'd love some tips. I have a relatively big credit line, and I'd love to kind of like take a shot at it. And his eyes, bro.
He like stepped Taylor aside to a corner, and he's like, "You gambling tonight?"
Yeah.
Taylor's like, "I want to." He's like, "Come to Red Rock. We'll go to dinner first."
Yeah. I was like, "How big's your credit line?" I was like, "Oh, it's like 500." And he's like, "You and me tonight, we're getting dinner, and we're going to war." He's like, "That's plenty of ammo." He refers to these shekels that we all look at as ammo. He's like, "I'm gonna fucking get these guys." So
and Taylor's like, "Will, we're all going to war." And Danny's like, "No. It's just you and the gambler."
Yeah, just
like,
one at a time. So we go to dinner, and now we're sitting at this Thai spot. It's incredible. Dana's got his crew. We got our crew. We're hanging out. He's telling stories to at the head of the table, talking about this. And we're like, holy fucking shit, this is the president of the UFC that we're about to go gamble with. Check comes, alligator arms out the ass. Dana goes and grabs that thing, signs the name, takes a deep breath, slaps his arms on the table, and he goes, "You ready?" And I'm like, all of a sudden, truly, like my heart rate was at 180.
You think you're going to enter some dark room, there's going to be one light on the chair, you and the dealer.
Spotlight.
Stakes are high.
Swinging in the wind, and there's like 3 cops like, I can't wait to get this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So we walk out of the place. There's 4 guys in suits waiting for us to like escort us. We go into the high roller room, and then behind the high roller room is this like private gambling room. And he goes, "How much do you want to win?" I go, "I've never won anything more than 40 in my life." And in my head, bro, it's literally been like 5, but I'm just trying to say a big number to look cool.
Yeah.
He goes
Mr. White,
He goes
40,000.
up to the dealer and goes, "Give him 10. I go, $10 a hand is going to give me a tough way to get to 40. All of a sudden, dealer, 2 orange chips that say $5,000 slap on the table, and they slide it towards me. I am now currently shitting my pants. I look at Dana like a small child. Like, what do I do next, Dad? And he's like, "Put it in the middle of the circle." I'm like, yeah. You got it, bud. Put it in the middle of the circle. I get 19. I'm feeling good. Dealer flips an ace, checks it, flips it over. They get blackjack. I am now in debt $10,000. I am
In
literally,
one
like,
hand.
I can't feel my legs. Like, bro, I was about to pass out. I'm leaning against the table like, you know, it's just money, right, guys? Like, I'm freaking out.
Dana's like, all good, give him 20.
Yeah, give it 20. This is not an exaggeration, dude. When the dealer handed
He's
me,
not exaggerating. The first 2 or 3 times we gambled, he was a absolute mess, like a mess.
a fucking mess. And so I go to put the 4 chips now, 5,000 each, and I'm trying to move it, but my hand's shaking so hard I have to assist my hand to get it to the circle. And I'm just thinking, like, you look so dumb right now. Like, this is the Truman Show. Everyone's caught you. You're an idiot. Fast forward 90 seconds later, I got $40,000 in my hand. I hurt your back, dapping you up so hard. I fucked you up.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He slapped the shit out of me.
Right.
Yeah. And Dana's like, you're done. Go to your room. You
Yeah,
don't come back
yeah.
down here.
Literally, yeah,
That's
he's
how
like,
you
I got
win.
put in timeout. He's like, go. All right. Calls
Yeah.
him the next day. We win again, and we've been gambling for the last 2 years since then. It's been awesome, man.
2 years, $2.4 million this guy has won.
Thank you. It feels so weird to say thank you to that.
So most of you men know, like when you gamble a lot and you gamble more than you should, you don't tell your wife, you don't tell your girlfriend. His wife's telling him, when are you going back to Vegas?
No joke. We'll be sitting there at the house and like, I don't know, some bullshit will happen. Like a glass will break and she'll be like, gotta go back to Vegas. Like, call Dana. So my wife and I, we have a deal. If Dana ever calls me, he's like, I need you here like the town. I can't tell you what we're doing. I need you.
Whose car are we taking?
Whose car are we taking? I gotta get
So
on
any
the
of you
plane.
that have ever listened to me talk about gambling, you go in to gamble to win. And if you're playing $100 and you win $200, beat it. Get lost. You won. It's a great thing. But those places are built on guys that can't do that. Yeah, you guys, they stay there until they lose all their money. So I tell him when he comes into town, what do you want to win? Right? It's 40, it's 60, it's 80, it's whatever. So
Numbers definitely gone up.
yeah, the numbers it's gotten a lot higher. But the problem is when you get into it a little, and when it's easy and you win fast and easy, it's just like, wow, we can't lose. So he would start to get to the point where I would send him to his room, go to bed, get lost, and then I'd get a text at 7:30 in the morning. I'm down 80,000. I'm you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though that has happened, this guy's up 2.4 million all time gambling. It's pretty awesome.
Guy, man. What a guy. It's very clear to see your.
Oh, then he goes back to Barstool and he starts telling Portnoy and all these guys about.
This is a crazy story, yeah.
So he's telling all the guys at Barstool, you know, not just Portnoy and all the other guys that have podcasts, but all the people that work there. The longer you stay, the harder it is to win. You want to clip them, bet as much as you can, clip them, and then leave, right? If I told you guys right now in the crowd, hey, who wants $10,000? Everybody wants $10,000, right? But for some fucking reason, when you are in that casino and you win $10,000 really fast, and you give a guy $10,000, he's like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. No, let's not do it again.
Yeah.
Let's leave. So you could tee up the whole Portnoy story, but he gets Portnoy. So Portnoy is go ahead.
The Tunnel of Chaos. We started talking about the Tunnel of Chaos. Well, I go with him. Obviously, everything's being filmed. He sees me winning. And then the Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. This is 23? 24.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
2 Super Bowls ago.
And so all the Barstool guys, they're chirping me. Dan Katz, Dave Portnoy, you always win. You can't lose. They just print money. You're cheating. And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, like, when we go, like, you just find the number you want, and you just fight until you get to that number, and then you dip. Ninja smoke, you're out of there. And I'm like,
they're laughing at
you
it.
can't lose, though. Like, I've seen guys, we've been around guys that get banked, and it just happens. So I'm like, I know people lose. And Will's over here talking to Dave like, bro, you can't lose. You'll never lose. It's all
because they're like
jabbing.
they're jabbing Taylor, and they're like, oh, Dave, apparently, like, you just tell Dana what you want, and then you just win. They're kind of like making fun of it. So I just take it to a whole new level, and I'm telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, you just go in. I've watched it happen.
Yeah.
You just go in, you tell them a number, and then you get the number. And we have about, go ahead.
We have about 8 guys with us. Well, us 2 as well. So 6 Barstool guys, Dave, Dan, and like 4 other guys that work for Barstool. We go to the same place that Dana took me the first night we gambled. We go to that Thai spot.
We're like, this is the
Red
rhythm.
Rock.
Get Thai food.
Yeah, we're sitting there. It's a pregame meal, right? We're getting appies. We're hanging out. Everyone's having a good time. I'm shitting bricks again. I'm now back into my origin story of, like, if any of these guys lose, Like Dave Portnoy looked at me and goes, if I lose tonight, he goes, I'm either going to win $60,000 tonight or I'm going to lose $2 million, regardless it's going to be your fault. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little on edge. We walk in, go to the thing, and brother, I went first. It took a little bit of time. I end up winning. And then every single guy,
8 in a row.
Dana was
so Portnoy, what are you cashing in for? Whatever. He's betting 30,000 a hand. So we start off and we bet the 30,000. In 3 hands he wins $100,000. So he's up 100,000. I'm like, stop. That's good. We got it. There you go. There's 100,000. And then he's like, wow, that's crazy. And then he's got another guy. He says, well, I go, what do you want to win? He goes, I want to win 20,000. So Portnoy puts up the money. I win this guy 20,000. And this guy goes, I want 10. Fucking so Portnoy puts up the money.
It's crazy.
I shit you not. We go through the entire staff at Barstool, and everybody won exactly what the number they gave me. Then comes Will.
Bro, and we were there. We were having fun throughout the week. I think my number was 10,000 a night, and I was like on a little bit of a heater. I think I won 3 nights in a row. And that night, so many people were going and so many people were winning. Like, Will, you got to go. And I was like, I'm telling you, I just don't. This doesn't feel like the move tonight.
Quick side story. 2 nights before that, Will lost like 5. Dana goes, he comes over, he plays, he wins.
Yeah.
And Dana's kind of asks, hey, how's your guys' night going? I was like, oh, I'm up. Will's like, I lost 5. And so Will and I were kind of talking, and Dana just walks over in the corner and goes, give me 5 real quick. He goes, Taylor, have you ever seen me bet 5 before? I was like, never. Wins a hand. Just does
flips me a chill.
Flips the chips. He goes, hey, catches it. Thank you, Mr. Dana.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. White.
Oh, shucks, Mr. Dana. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
I'm on a heater.
Yeah. So
But
Will, yeah, so
8
Will-
people win. And they're like, Will, you got to go. Will, you got to go. Will, you got to go. So I get up there, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to win $10,000 again. And within a fucking blink of an eye, I'm down. What was it? $300,000? I'm down like 60,
number.
and then that's when he's like, hey, step aside. Dana's like, hey, step aside. I'm like, I fucking need help, man. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. My wife's asking how I'm doing. I need you. And Dana starts playing where I might be down like 50, 60, call whatever. Dana starts playing, and then we're down 300,000, and I'm just standing back there, and I'm like, Taylor's like, hey, how sick is this? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? But he digs it all the way out of a hole to where I win $5,000, $10,000. Yeah. Thank God. And Taylor's like, how much of a rush was that? I was like, dog, that is, I can't ever do that again,
It ruins
bro.
you, man. It literally
ruins
changes your perception of reality. Because you really did have to go in there. And the way Dana plays, you don't play blackjack anymore. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. We're Baccarat guys now.
Yeah.
Baccarat all the way. But at this point in time, we're playing blackjack. And when Dana's playing one-on-one, it's not like the dealer goes, flips over a card for you, puts their card down, flips over a card for you again. It's like, no, Dana likes them when they're pitched to him. So you're kind of just sitting there in the stool like, I hope it's going well. And then Dana's looking at the cards. Give me one. We got fucked. You know, that type of thing. Oh, hey, we won that one. So you're kind of just sitting there like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Then he'll get mad, and he might get 2 4s, and he's like, split them.
Yeah. He
He's
goes,
like,
let's gamble, boys.
Yeah.
And puts it down right away. So all that to be said,
We
hopefully.
had some good times.
The moral of this story is don't gamble, everybody.
Yeah.
No
Don't gamble.
That being said, I'll see you for International Fight Week.
Yeah,
It's going to be a great
yeah.
weekend for us. We're going to have an awesome time.
Andy, you were saying it earlier. You guys met through some friends. Like, talk about how you guys got linked up to start basically forming Phorm Energy with Anheuser-Busch.
Dude, I got a text from my buddy Eric. I was doing cardio. I don't even know if you remember this. Eric Damier?
Yeah.
So Eric texts me, we're on the phone, and I'm doing cardio, and he's like, hey, man, like he's talking to me, and he's like, hey, man, do you know Dana? And I'm like, no. And he's like, cool. I'll introduce you. And I'm thinking like, all right, cool. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, a lot of people say they're going to do stuff. I just didn't think anything. 10 minutes later, I get a text. It is from you. And it says, Andy, it's Dana. And then we started texting. We started talking about the drink business. We were talking about Constellation and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, and then we didn't talk for a while. It's kind of like we did a thing with your UFC papers.
Yep.
And then, I don't know. I don't even know how the fuck this happened, honestly.
Yeah. So Brendan, the CEO of Anheuser-Busch, you know, when our beer deal was up, I ended up going back with Anheuser-Busch. And I'm at this point in my life where I only want to do business with people that I'm aligned with and, you know, think like I think and are into the things that I'm into. And other than gambling, I don't do anything because of money anymore. I just do things that I'm into, I'm passionate about. He reached out to me and said, how would you like to get into the energy drink business with us? And he said, I got these guys that are from, St. Louis. They have a great company. I was on a vacation with my family as I flew back. We stopped. We went to Phorm, met these guys. We did tastings, and I was completely into it. Obviously, we are very aligned and like-minded, and it was just a no-brainer for me. And since being back in business with Anheuser-Busch, I've been having a blast with these guys. So if you look at what I like, being in business with people who get shit done. And if you look at how big Anheuser-Busch is and how long they've been around, what an absolute beast this company is. In 207 days, we got this thing from an idea to actually on shelves right now. And I love it. I love being in business with people like this, and I'm looking forward to it.
So it was basically a no-brainer for you once you saw Phorm, got to know them. Obviously, you're already hooked up with Anheuser-Busch. You're like, this is going to be a no-brainer.
And I love energy drinks, yes.
What type of negotiations are going on in order to get something done in 207 days? Like, and your experience with negotiations, do those usually take a little bit longer, or was this?
No, I'm not really hard to negotiate with. Yeah. I want to be in it. I wanted to do it, and we got the deal done.
Yeah, and I think also there wasn't a lot of back and forth. It was just like, let's fucking go.
Right.
And we went, and that was I think we're all aligned. We want to do some damage, bro, and have fun doing it.
Well, the thing that I love too is when you have people who have been very successful, at whatever they do. Some guys in multiple things, and obviously Anheuser-Busch is an incredible American institution. With a ton of history, but they don't move like a big major. But these guys are quick and nimble, and they move fast, and they get shit done. And I like being in business with people like that. And obviously, if you look at the success these guys have had, but when you have people that have been this successful and still get up every day and want to try something new, and then just grind and do everything they can to win and make a successful business, it's impressive. And I love being in business with guys like that.
When it comes to the future of Phorm Energy, like, what do you guys see? You got, like, again, you guys are monsters. You got the UFC, you got Phorm, you got Anheuser-Busch, all creating this baby of Phorm Energy.
Boys.
Yeah, then you got Bussin' With The Boys. What a sponsor! Hey,
shop.
We missed the calls for the equity part, but we're sponsored.
Do you remember that conversation? we had?
Dude, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. So I've been friends with Mark Wahlberg for a long time. We lived together when we were younger. And he came over the other day as a clothing brand called Municipal. And he's asking me to help and get involved in Municipal. And this was sitting on the counter. He's like, well, what's this? I told him the story. He started blowing up Brendan after he left. How do I get an equity position in this thing? Everybody's been blowing me up for equity. Yeah.
What do you guys see with the future, though, of Phorm Energy? All three of you powerhouses kind of molding together to create something. What do you guys see in the future with it?
Listen, in 270, let me start here. So 2 people control this brand, 2 companies. You got Monster Energy and Red Bull. They run the entire category. And every year it goes up 15%. Their business every year goes up 15%. There's room for lots of different players now, and we're going to be one of those companies. If you look at what we did in 207 days, imagine what we'll do in 3 years.
Yeah.
Andy, any other remarks? That was pretty badass.
I mean, look, dude, I think he's hitting on it. Yeah, I have some other remarks, but I like to talk after, not before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I have to say.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm very confident. Period. Yeah.
Period. End of sentence.
He texts me like every other day. We're gonna beat everybody's ass. We're gonna do this and that.
Now we're saying.
And then now we're here. He's like, I'm very confident that this is gonna do well. He's like, we're gonna beat everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah. I fucking didn't want to piss off anybody that, that you guys know, but yeah.
Monster's still my sponsor. I love those guys. We love you, Monster.
If you're really asking what I think we're going to do, I think we're going to stomp on everybody's fucking throats.
Yeah! There we go, Andy.
There he is. Yeah.
Dude, Dana, you're obviously into performance fitness, all that stuff. Have you been to their facility?
It's incredible.
Dog.
It's incredible. So yesterday, they had 4,000 people go through there and work out yesterday. And the community that they've built, the business that they've built, the mentality that they have at that company, it's awesome. Yeah.
Dude, Andy, your guys' facility is nicer than – it competes with every D1 college. It's insane.
You know, dude, just like you, man, we grew up wanting to – we were athletes, you know what I'm saying? Sal – he had his baseball career, and I wasn't good enough to play anywhere, but that was our dream, dude. Our dream was to be athletes. So when we finally had the ability to design our own space and really build culture around it, it made sense to make it that way. I believe that culture is built through mutual suffering. The hard times is what builds bonds. And when you can train together, work together, and treat your company like a team, I think you get team performance and culture. And so, I fucking love it, dude. I live in that locker room. Like,
bro,
yeah.
You guys have a full team meeting room that looks like every team meeting room we've walked into.
Ever walked into.
The nice leather chairs. You got the locker room that is spotless. That is like, it's like sacred in there.
Yeah.
A massive gym. You got cold tub. You got sauna. You got a smoothie station, cold brew. You have ice cream. The ice cream's phenomenal. That protein ice cream you guys have? Hey, buddy.
I don't even know what we have.
It's amazing. That soft serve. Got some ice cream in there, some soft serve, the protein one. It's unreal, man.
How's
it's
the ice
unreal.
Cream? Yeah. All right. I'll try that.
And that's true if you look at the gym and the facilities that they built and everything that they have, but then if you go over to their warehouse where the work is done, and it is a well-oiled machine. It's very impressive.
And they have that they have the American flag hanging up in that warehouse, and it's the same square footage of the first superstore that you guys had.
Yeah.
Which is
we slept in that store for 3 fucking years, dude. 3 years we slept in that store. We slept in the store. We showered at friends' houses. We ate and drank for free because we worked in the bars. And that's how we fucking got by, dude. And like, honestly, dude, it was the best fucking experience of my entire life. A lot of people that talk about building businesses and building things, they want to get through the hard times and get there. But the truth of the matter is, dude, I learned more and enjoyed more in those hard times than any other time, dude. And
so true.
Yeah, man.
Some of my best memories are when I was broke trying to make it. Those are some of my listen, I have fun now. I ain't gonna bullshit you, but
it's a different kind of fun.
Yeah. I really treasure the building. I always laugh, and I say this all the time, but it kills me. It's like I'll see some guy saying, I think I want to own my own business because I want to set my own hours, and I want to. Let me tell you what. And if you think you get your business to a point where you can take time off and you do it just never happens. The more successful you become, the harder it is to stay on top, and the more you have to grind. But I wouldn't change it for anything. I love every minute of it.
Yeah, I love you too, bro. It took me a long time to appreciate it. Like when we first got away from it, I was like, all right, we're making some progress. And you're just trading some sort of, a different kind of problem for a different problem. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you're small and you're trying to make it, you're just glad to be able to eat, And then when you're big, now you're worried about everybody else eating. And it's just a different kind of problem to solve.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I love it.
Before we get out of here, Dan, I asked Andy a question before you came up about just the level of reflection you take. You talk about being broke at one point. Last time we were in Vegas together, we were swapping stories about our first cars and how they would break down. And it was like you kind of look back and smile at those moments and how far you've come. Like
it's true, but you have to have those. You have to have had that piece of shit car that you had back in the day, fucking break down. You had to push it somewhere, or you had to pop the clutch and have people push it. Run out of gas. Shitty jobs that you hated. Jobs that you like. These are all things that you have to have in your life to understand what you don't want to do and what you do want to do, and appreciate things when you get it.
No doubt.
I wouldn't change any of that.
When you have have all those things, you've done all those things, you get to the level of success you're at now, do you ever just sit back and reflect at, hey, how fucking cool is this, all that I've been able to accomplish?
No, because I'm always thinking about what's next.
Yeah.
I'm the what's next guy. I'm never going to retire. I'm going to drop dead before I stop working. So it's what I love to do.
Well, that's what would fucking kill you, bro.
Well,
if you stop, that's what would kill you.
Then so be it.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is guys that are wired like you, when people stop, that's when they get bored, lose purpose, and then they're done.
It's true.
Yeah.
Most guys that retire end up dying not
Yeah.
long after retirement. But I can't ever imagine not working, not building, not jumping up every day and being excited and passionate. I've been home. I live in Las Vegas. I've been home 30 days since Christmas. And some of that is vacation too. But I've been home 30 days since Christmas, and I love it. It's been a good year so far.
Fuck, man. Dude, thank you guys. It's been awesome. Thank you, everybody who came out. Shout out to sponsor Phorm Energy. You guys are going to crush it. We're going to crush it.
Yeah.
We're going to crush it.
You guys ready for tomorrow or what? That's fucking right. We're going to have a good fucking time, aren't we? All right. Thank you guys so much for having me on and having us on, and we are super excited. Bro, I'm very fucking proud of you, dude, just so you know that.
I appreciate you.
I love you,
brother.
man.
I love you too.
Yeah, and Taylor,
love
you're
you.
definitely I love you too, bro.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Dana,
Thank God.
thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for
Thank you,
coming out.
guys.
Thank you so much for standing in the rain, listening. It's been amazing. Thank you. Shout out to you
Check
guys.
out the podcast.